Season 5 of Cobra Kai sure satisfied fans by staying true to its roots and remixing parts of The Karate Kid Part 3 into something that makes audiences appreciate the original a little more. However, not every strike is successful. This new set of 10 episodes, like the path of any aspiring karate champion, is full of victories and failures. Here is 7 things we loved and 4 we didn't about Season 5. Starting off, we love the finale for its nostalgic value. The Season 5 of Cobra Kai accomplished the impossible by bringing the villains from the Karate Kid trilogy together with Daniel, played by Ralph Macchio, to face against the ultimate villain Terry Silver, played by Thomas Ian Griffin. It really was Karate Kid Endgame. What is better is that while their epic fight was taking place, every single one of the students was having an equally epic brawl, all of which led to the ultimate showdown, Daniel and Terry one-on-one. The episode was packed with action, suspense, and character development, while the narrative reached new and impressive heights, making it one of the best episodes ever. And of course we can't forget the way it started with Kreese, quote, dying only for him to escape prison at the end. Every second was undeniably awesome. Next up, we couldn't get over the espionage. We knew the stakes would be raised this season, that much had made clear by the team, but we had no idea what was in store for us. The episodes involved mysteries within mysteries, making several main characters employ spy tactics and go undercover to get to the bottom of things. The espionage ended up making for some of the most compelling moments we've ever seen in the show so far. 2 such nail-biting exchanges occur in episode 2, where Miguel finds his father Hector and ends up being surprised. Carmen warned him about a dangerous man, but Hector is handsome, affable, and rich. However, eventually, the mobster shows his true colors, leaving us biting down on our nails in worry for the karate star. Chozen, seen as Sensei Joe, proves that he's even better as he finds a way into Silver's world, and has the enemy opened up to him, showing him his private arsenal of swords. Chozen thinks he's got the upper hand, but Silver outsmarts him, all the while Tori and Kreese are going through a double cross of their own. Towards the end of the video, the kids rely on their tech skills to carry out tech tactics which determine the future of Cobra Kai. Moving on, relationships were mended and we couldn't be happier. If Cobra Kai had ended on Season 5, it would be a pretty happy ending as countless relationships were brought back to life. We'll admit it took some time, but Sam and Tori made up, as well as Robbie and Miguel. Then Daniel and Mike made up too. Robbie also made up with Johnny, and to some extent, Kenny as well. Watching all these kids patch up their relationships made us pretty emotional, adding yet another factor to this great season. Not to mention Johnny's wholesome character arc. Johnny Lawrence has been set down as a somewhat aloof person with regrets from being a bad father figure. And for the past 4 seasons, we've seen him try to mend his relationship with his son, Robbie, and his first protege, Miguel. Well, Season 5 showed us the completion of his character arc as he began to overcome his issues with parenthood. His journey sped up by Carmen's revelation of her pregnancy. At first, we see Johnny freak out at the sight of men handling babies, but he makes a mature decision by baby-proofing his pad and watching a what to expect when you're expecting type of video. The show doesn't leave us hanging by giving a will they won't they situation and confirms Carmen's pregnancy, beginning the blend of their 2 families. Robbie and Miguel fight out their problems and make amends in order to be happy for Johnny and everyone that's involved. It's definitely been a happy season. Coming up, the cameos in this season were everything. We couldn't get over Karate Kid 3's villain, Mike Barnes' cameo as a furniture salesman, but they went a step further and brought back Jessica Andrews by making her the person who introduced Daniel to his wife Amanda. What's great is that having both of these crucial Karate Kid Part 3 characters pushing the Terry Silver story didn't feel forced at all. If anything, it only made sense as Daniel would have seeked out Mike, and who could have expected the former tears of Terry's better than Jessica? Each of these points proves that it was truly masterful season with a perfect storytelling mix, including nostalgia and action, all balled up into one. Now for the epic international tournament. Before the season came out, we were worried about what they could possibly introduce this time. We'd seen the All Valley tournament twice. They fought in their school, their homes, and in dojos. The list was getting shorter and we were scared this season's edition might just be disappointing, but little did we know that we were in for a surprise. The Super Mega International Tournament was all the show needed for some really compelling background drama and a direction for next year. Adding an international competition at this point in the show was a great call to make, and we just want to know who we should thank for this brilliant idea. Lastly, we can't forget the best villainous corporate takeover. Terry Silver was promoted to final boss this season, and the literal boss of Cobra Kai after outmaneuvering Kreese and getting him in prison, but this version of Terry Silver isn't just evil for the sake of being the bad guy. He follows a long tradition of the villain archetype, the corporate overlord launching a hostile takeover of a whole sector of the valley's small businesses. An undeniably wise choice to take over the mantle of the antagonist. We don't have to sympathize with someone who's obscenely wealthy and without scruple, as John Kreese was. What's truly vile about his motivations is he truly believes in legacy. This survival of the fittest extreme capitalist is winning the game because he understands the rules. Terry Silver proves to be the perfect boogeyman in an era when both philanthropic, uber-powerful CEOs are homogenizing American towns and cities. Moving on to the parts we didn't love, the neglect Stingray faced. We're looking at the character, we love Stingray, but in this season, it felt like he was overlooked a lot and reduced to a deus ex machina. He's just the guy people go to in times of need for valuable bits of info, and he gives it to them without a second hesitation. He did get the one singular cool fighting moment in the end, but overall, we'd hope for much more from the character, and so his actual portrayal let us down. Up next, some of the humor was really not in good taste. This show is surprisingly sweet and sentimental at times despite being about karate, however, it can also be pretty nasty at times, with unnecessary off-color humor. Given that the show's made for younger audience, but also has the adult characters going through midlife crises, it's got the liberty to go in either direction, while the humor in order to please both younger and older audiences. Unfortunately, this alternating method just doesn't work sometimes. In one such scene, Johnny's shown drinking while driving during his failed attempt at being a rideshare and delivery driver. Not only is that an irresponsible act, but he also goes on to relieve himself with an empty Coors can while there's a passenger in his backseat. 0 stars for that behavior. Following up with unnecessary relationship drama, there's never been a show with perfect harmonious relationships because the conflicts are part of the plot and they keep things interesting, but sometimes the characters of Cobra Kai take these to the next level by building up on an unnecessary drama that could be solved with other proper conversation. We understand Robbie and Tori's split up, it's a concrete reason. He wants to stay at Cobra Kai and she doesn't, but Sam and Miguel's breakup is quite stretched, both them alternating their self-discovery journeys after he goes to Mexico. The split screen scene where their friends try to guide them through text is sweet, but the seasons feel like it's just putting awkward distances between them until it's time for the pair to reconnect. Finally, some misdirects were obvious to the point of being cheesy. Given that Cobra Kai is made to be an audience-friendly, viewers should be able to predict what'll happen next, and it's no lie that a majority of the plot twists, even those that viewers predict, are quite satisfying. This season, on the other hand, has a few blatantly obvious tricks up its sleeve. One example of this was when Johnny's purchase of those amusing FBI t-shirts. While they did provide a reason for Hector and Miguel to flee the club, it seemed to be an overly cheesy setup in an otherwise tense scene. And that's all for this video, my friends. What were your favorite or least favorite moments from Season 5? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.